This video is in continuity with my previous video that is based on this identity. That is, if x plus y plus z is 0, that is, if the sum of x plus y plus z is 0, then x cube plus y cube plus z cube is 3xyz. It is actually it's derived from the 8th identity of class 9th polynomials. Now, based on this, we have one first question, that is, we have to factorize here. Now, factorize, as you know, we have to write them in the form of product and not to expand them. So we'll do in the same manner. That means we are going to take the first term as, say, that is not along with the cube. It's x as, let x is equal to p minus q, y is equal to q minus r, and z is equal to r minus p. Now check here, if I add these three terms, that is x plus y plus z, what we are going to get is p minus q plus y is replaced by q minus r and z is replaced by r minus p. Now you see that p and p get cancelled because they are of opposite side sign. Minus q plus q get cancelled and minus r and plus r get cancelled. We got this as 0. That means we got x plus y plus z is 0. And we know that in that case, we can write x cube plus y cube plus z cube is equal to 3xyz. Now replacing x with p minus q and y with q minus r and z cube as r minus p whole cube. That should give you 3 times x, that is 3 times p minus q, q minus r, and then r minus p. Since it's a question of factorization, we are not required to multiply it or expand it further. We will end the answer here only. This is how the first part can be done. In the same manner, the other parts can be done. Let's say in the second part, that is now we are doing the second question where x plus y plus x, y, z, like value of x, y, z are given, and we have to find the cube of this. Same as the previous, but this time we cannot take x, y. Let's say I take the variable a here as x instead of x, which is, oh, this is already given as x, so we are not required to change it. Let's write down x as this, which is given, and y as root 3 minus root 7, and z, which is root 7 minus under root 4. Now you know that under root 4 is 2, so you need to write under root 4 as 2. Now we are going to show with the actual working that the sum of these three are coming as 0, that is 2 minus root 3, y is root 3 minus root 7, and z, which is equal to the sum we are getting. Instead of plus z, I'm writing plus under root 7 minus 2. Now check here, this 2 and minus 2 get cancelled, minus root 3 plus root 3, and so is minus root 7 and plus root 7. So here too we are getting the sum of x plus y plus z as 0. This implies that x cube plus y cube plus z cube should be equal to 3x y z. Now x, which was 2 minus root 3, so it's cube, y, which is root 3 minus root 7 cube, and z, which is root 7 minus 2 cube. So that should be equal to 3 times x, which is 2 minus root 3 into y, which is root 3 minus root 7 into z, which is root 7 minus 2. So we have to end the answer at this step only because we are not going to expand it further. So this should be our answer. Now, let's say if I do the last part, which is again based on this identity, the only difference is in this working will be, let's say first highlighted the one which I'm asking you, we are going to discuss here. This is finding the cubes or maybe say factorize. So we are not going to take x here because x itself is a variable. So let's take a as x minus 2y, b as 2y minus 3z, and c as 3z minus x. Now I'm going to add these. Let's say if I add a plus b plus c, what we are getting x minus 2y plus 2y minus 3z and plus 3z minus x. Here too you can find positive and negative x get cancelled. So is this and z. So what do we got? We got a plus b ka sum as 0. And this implies that we can say that a cube plus b cube plus c cube should be equal to 3abc. Now we can start replacing a with its value, that is x minus 2y, b with its value, that is 2y minus 3z, and yeah, we have to get the cube, right? So I forgot to place cube here, plus b as 2y minus 3z cube, and c cube can be written as 3z minus x whole cube, and this will be equal to 3 times ABC, that is 3 times x minus 2y, 2y minus 3z, and this has 3z minus x. So this should be the factorized form of the third question. There are many more questions. All you have to identify of the types that whenever you have cube of 3 terms, like whenever you have to find the cube of 3 terms, we do not do expansion. Instead, we always check that is the sum of these 3 terms are 0. And if it is 0, then that sum of their cubes will be equal to 3 times ABC.